Hey, did I tell you I unpsycho-pilled myself when it comes to driving? Here's one tip that may surprise you. Have some patience and remember that it really, like, any delay that you have in driving, probably going to be what? You're going to get home like less than 10 minutes later. Just anytime like somebody cuts me off now, instead of being like, oh, learn how to operate at a four-way stop, it's very simple. Instead, I'm like, why am I so mad? I'm going to get home at the normal time. The only question is like whether or not I'm going to get home at the normal time and be happy and relaxed, or I'm going to get home at the normal time and be like annoyed and ticked off. Look, you got to keep yourself honest is really what I'm trying to say. People who slow cruise in the passing lane should have their licenses revoked though. Listen, okay? Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Because I deal with this shit in Washington all the time. People are always like, in Washington, it's illegal to be in the left unless you're passing, okay? Here's the fucking problem, Washington. You have highway entrances and exits literally like every 200 meters. So, I'm driving in bumper-to-bumper traffic in the right lane. People are going by me doing 30 miles an hour over the speed limit. And then 17 cars in a packed merge lane are also trying to merge at highway speed, okay? So then I move to the left so that one car coming on through the fucking on-ramp can make it into the right lane. But then, in order to not be breaking the law, I gotta move back into the right lane, but no one will let me back into the right lane. It's driving me crazy. I move to the left to let someone in, then I need to move back to the right in order to not be breaking the law and have people. And I'm driving in Washington, so I'm being like judged more harshly because I have a foreign license plate too. So that, you know what usually happens is I end up driving like with the flow of traffic in the left lane. So, you know, it's was 70 mile an hour speed limit. I'm doing like 83 or something like that with white knuckles in the middle of a driving Washington monsoon, getting people that going into the right lane to pass me, shaking their fists. Then like 10 minutes down the road, I see their cars exploded. It flipped over 25 times. I know I've said this before, like every time I've been on the I-5, I've always felt like I'm 100 years old because I'm only driving 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. I get passed by people where I'm like, you shouldn't drive like that. And then 20 minutes later, we're in bumper-to-bumper stalled traffic, and then we see that person was so selfish they fucking died. They're so bad at driving, and they think they're the main character. They died on the interstate and ruined everybody's day. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Now do you understand Notes from Underground? Okay, a little bit. A little bit. It's not like I'm happy they died. You're taking that like out of context. It's not fair. In fact, I'm pissed off that they died because their dying was a consequence of them driving like a dickhead in the first place. If they just drove like not a piece of garbage, then they would be alive and happy at their destination, and so would I. You see how many... I'm getting a lot of +2s from people that are like, I'm from Washington and this is so true. Listen, is this how we mend fences with Bellingham? You can still make fun of Canadian drivers, Lord knows I do too, as long as you also make fun of Washington drivers, okay? Here's my impression of a Mount Vernon driver at a four-way stop when they're the only other person at the stop and they got there 5 seconds before you. But also, their windows are illegally tinted to the point where you can't even see their hand. Just go. You were there first, just go.